We just like to take this time today. We'd like to gather today to honor. Fred Twyman by dedicating the Fred Twyman Memorial Math Building. Okay. Fred was a good friend, a mentor to many of us, a dedicated teacher of students, and a leader of the city of Menifee as a councilman and visionary. Fred Twyman dedicated much of his life to students, fellow teachers in the city of Menifee through his tireless efforts to help us see the greatness of what PVHS could be and lead us on the path to that vision. We dedicate the Fred Twyman Memorial Math Building not only to honor Fred Twyman's tireless service to PVHS in the city of Menifee, but also as a reminder to us that in buildings like this, teachers have a bigger goal of educating future leaders, inventors, parents, politicians, community servants, coaches, and teachers. I'd like to take a moment. We'd like to acknowledge Carolyn Twyman, Fred's wife, and our board member, and also Fallon Twyman and Alyssa Twyman. And I'd like to take a moment just to say that Fred's efforts took a lot of time and dedication, and we'd like to thank his family for sharing him with us, because for every moment that he spent time with us doing the things that he did, he was not with them in many times. So we greatly appreciate that, and that has not escaped us in any time. So we'd like to say thank you for all that you have given us. Also, his family from out of town is Jim Twyman's brothers. His brother is here. And I believe Richard Richter, his friend, is here as well. And we'd also like to welcome Mrs. D.J. Williams, Fred's mom. She's not here with us today in person, but she's going to be joining us through Skype. She couldn't make it, but I'm not sure how Skype works. I'm not that great, but hello wherever you are. Also like to thank Dr. Greenberg for being here, our school board superintendent. And the Paris Union High School district board members, the representatives able to make it here today as well, and representatives from our city council. And last but never least, the Paloma Valley staff and administration. I'd like to take this time now to introduce Tom Van Giesen. He came to Paloma High School in 1999, and he shared a room with Fred due to overcrowding. As a colleague and friend, he would like to speak to Fred's life and achievements that show why the math department supported his naming the building after Fred.
I'm not exactly sure what year Fred started in the district, but it must have been 91 or 92, somewhere around in there. In 1995, Paloma was built, and Fred was one of the first teachers here, and was proud of that fact, and often reminded us that he had been here since the school had been founded. And shortly after that, he moved over off of Scott Road and fell in love with Paloma Valley High School and Menifee area. And I always thought with Fred had a unique skill set. Skill set's something that maybe an athlete has or an artisan has, but it's an ability, and Fred's ability was unique. Fred was a guy who could see a need and decide that he was going to help change and influence that need. First time I saw that is he became the department chair in the math department, and truly made the math department a fun place. Fred was a character. He was a joker, but he also loved math, and he loved to apply math. In 3 years, during that time, he saw another need. The need was that teachers were leaving our district because they were underpaid. So Fred sets out with a plan. He runs and becomes the Paris Union president. In that year, 2 years, all of a sudden, through a series of things, using his statistics and his background, our salaries raised. And I often think of this each time when I open my paycheck, that Fred brought us up to parity with the rest of the districts around us within 2 short years. Well, that was a need Fred saw and filled. And he was off, on to something else. The next thing that he noticed was he wanted the high school to become a part of the Menifee Union District. So what's he do? He runs for school board. Carolyn comes onto the Paris Union School Board. He tries to use his influence there for several years. He tries to meet that need. I guess Fred might be saying right now, what's happening here? Let's get this moving. Bring us back to that original thought. There was another need in Menifee. Many years back, Fred said he wanted to, and he called actually Riverside County and got on the Trails Commission. And I was driving in this morning along Garboni and realized that I was driving along one of those trails that if you go around, most of the developments around here, they don't have them. And Fred began pushing through the county that. Another thing that he observed as a need was that our county was kind of haphazard in their plan with Menifee. So Fred sets off on the plan to get Menifee as into cityhood. And anybody knows that knows Fred, he had signs in his car, stakes in his car, hammers in his car, and to and from he was nailing in stakes. And what happens? Menifee becomes a city. Fred gets on the city council, and you know, in between he's working and having incredible amount of adversity through at home with Carolyn going through her cancer. And I often took, you know, Fred aside and said, Fred, how in the world do you do it? How do you do this? Most people would stop just with that. And on he went. So when I look at Fred, I look at a guy that had a very unique skill set. He could take his math and make it very practical. Anybody knew that if you wanted to know where we were at statistically, county, city, school district, go to Fred. If you didn't know, it was overnight and you were going to know. So I always thought of Fred as an inspiring person, and I know that the people here really appreciated him as a friend. Everybody felt like he was a friend. Once you didn't have to get to know Fred, he'd just pop into your life and help you out. So I would like to again say that to this guy who, well, he loves swimming. He wanted to be a swim coach. He was a swim coach, and I think eventually, right soon here, we're going to be having a swimming pool put in. A little late, but at least we're getting it. And I'd like to say again, thank you to Carolyn and the girls, and his brothers, and his father and mother, and everybody who lent us a piece of the pie of Fred. You realize today at school here is Pie Day, and you can have pie afterwards, and that stands for, this is March 14th, just in case you're not math inclined. And today's our day, and we wanted to honor Fred on this day because math was such a part of who he was. And so, thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Sorry, I'm a little shorter than he is, just by about an inch. I have the pleasure now to introduce Mr. Ryan Lundstrom. Mr. Lundstrom attended PVHS. He played football as quarterback and graduated here in 2000. As a PVH alumni, Mr. Lundstrom decided to return to Paloma to dedicate his life to teaching math and to give back to PVHS and the community. Mr. Lundstrom continues to be a vital part of Paloma in many areas and is a driving force to moving PVHS to the forefront of the community. Mr. Lundstrom?
Thanks. As most people know me, it's not hard for me to talk very often, but on this topic it is kind of tough for me because Mr. Twyman, I don't call him Fred, I call him Mr. Twyman, he's always been Mr. Twyman to me, he was really important to me. when I was in junior high, I was a really bad kid, got in a lot of trouble. When I came to high school, he was the only person up to that point in my life that actually saw something in me and believed in me. And I'm just here to represent the literally thousands of kids that were like me, that he probably influenced their lives too. I know them personally, a couple of them, and there was probably lots more because I'm not friends with all of his students. But he changed my life. He basically just told me, I believe in you, I know you're smart, start working hard. And I did. So from that point on, I started working hard in school and ended up getting really good grades, moving on. And when I graduated, when I got through college, came to the realization that I had to come back and do what he did for me. So that's like the whole point of me teaching right now, is to try to give back and influence anybody in the way that I was influenced when I was younger. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that, talk about how, because we all talk about how Fred being this, you know, this awesome guy in the community, and everyone knows what he's done for the community, but we kind of lose sight of the thing that he did for the individual people, like me and all the other thousands of kids that he individually affected. And so just wanted to bring that to a point, and that's pretty much my short but sweet speech.
Hey, thanks so much for that, bro. He would love this shirt, by the way. He would love that shirt.
One of the reasons we are wearing these shirts today is Fred has a whole box full of them, and he used to wear them all the time. So in kind of a little bit of a tribute to them, we wear them as often as possible, because yes, we are too lazy to wash clothes. And some of us have to go out and buy them because we're a little larger than Fred. We won't mention who they are, but you know, not me, of course, but something that he always had delighted in, so he always made it fun. In conclusion, I'd like to mention that today's date, 3/14, also known as Pie Day, another excuse for us to eat pie. We chose this day to honor Fred's math interests and to commemorate Fred's contribution to Menifee, the Paris Union High School District, and Paloma Valley High School. We'd also like to invite our guests and staff to a reception right here in R103. And every time we look at this building here and we see Fred's name, we hope to honor that by remembering the things that he has done for us and how we can continue to remember the important things that Fred has given us so we can continue that legacy on. Thank you. Appreciate your time coming out here today.